Pickman House. I'm Rory, I'm one of the docents here, and I love ghost stories. Telling ghost stories around the holidays is a long-standing tradition, mostly in England and Ireland, and it goes back at least to the 19th century, probably earlier, historians think, and it's something that never really made the transition over to America as an established tradition. Clearly we still do it, but it's always, I think, done with a sense of being kind of an import from someplace else, which is also a very American thing to do. And even though it's sort of tied to the holiday season, the Christmas season specifically, I think no matter what you do this time of year, no matter what you celebrate, do or don't celebrate, ghost stories are sort of nicely non-sectarian. Everyone loves a good ghost story this time of year. So, I'm joined by a couple of friends this evening, so you won't just have to listen to me bang on the whole time. A variety. But I want to start out with a poem that was read to me years and years and years ago. I guess back in 7th or 8th grade, I wasn't reading very well, and they sent me down the hall to Mr. Messier, and he was a reading teacher, so I would read things, he'd quiz me on them. And one of the things that he read was this poem by Robert W. Service called The Cremation of Sam McGee. And when I was looking for stories and poems to read tonight, I stumbled across this and hadn't come across it in 40 odd years. So it's sort of fun to rediscover this poem. So The Cremation of Sam McGee by Robert W. Service. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The Northern Lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest ever they did see was the night on the marge of Lake LaBarge I cremated Sam McGee. Now, Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the South to roam round the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell. He would often say in his homely way that he'd sooner live in hell. On Christmas Day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Talk of your cold, through the parka's fold it stabbed like a driven nail. In our eyes we'd closed, the lashes would froze, until sometimes we couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. That very night, as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, the dogs were fed, the stars overhead were dancing heel and toe. He turned to me and, Cap, says he, I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking you won't refuse my last request. Well, he seemed so low, I couldn't say no. Then he says with a sort of moan, it's the cursed cold. It's got right hold till I'm chilled clean through to the bone. Yet it being dead is my awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear, foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains. A pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail. We started on the streak of dawn, and by God, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched on the sleigh, he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. And before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death, and I hurried, horror-driven. With a corpse half hid, I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh and seemed to say, you may tax your brawn and brains, but your promise true, it's up to you to cremate these last remains. Now, a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. The days to come, though my lips were numb, in my heart how I cursed that load. The long, long nights by the lone firelight, while the huskies round in a ring howled out their woes to the homeless snows. Oh God, how I loathed that thing. And every day the quiet clay seemed heavier and heavier to grow. And on I went, though the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in. I'd often sing to that hateful thing and hearkened with a grin. So I came to the marge of Lake LaBarge, and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice. I saw at a trice it was called the Alice May. And I looked at it, I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum. Then here, I said with a sudden, here, said I, with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found was lying around, I heaped the fuel up higher. The flames just soared, the furnace roared, such a blaze you seldom see. I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. And I made a hike, for I didn't like to hear him sizzle so. And the heavens scowled, and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, and the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, though I didn't know why. The greasy smoke in an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. I did not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear, but the stars came out, and they danced about, ere I again ventured near. I was sick with dread, and I bravely said, I'll just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked, it's time I looked. From the door I opened wide. And there sat Sam, looking cool and calm, in the heart of the furnace roar. And he wore a smile, you could see him mile, when he said, please close that door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and storm. Since I left Plumtree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm. There's strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The Northern Lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest that I ever did see was the night on the marge of Lake LaBarge I cremated Sam McGee.
Excellent.
Um,
Well done.